What up, YouTube Alayaks? Come back at you with another custom StarCraft 2 cast. Today we have a couple tournament matchups featuring the C&D mod. If you're not familiar with this mod, this is a Command & Conquer, Red Alert, and Dune-inspired mod that effectively creates an entirely new game within the StarCraft 2 engine. There's 9 factions available with this mod. It's absolute insanity. Let's go ahead and introduce our players and jump right into it. Spawning on the top right-hand side of the map, it's our orange Imperial Forces player, Yiazmat, going up against his opponent. Spawning on the bottom left-hand side of the map, it's our pink Rebel Forces player, Riegel. So it's almost like Star Wars with the Rebels versus the Imperials. Jale, the creator of this mod, big shout out to you. Let me know down in the comments below if these factions are Star Wars inspired in any way, because from what I read, the Rebels and the Imperials in this mod are enemies. So basically Star Wars, right? Star Wars StarCraft 2 mod confirmed, dare I say. Anyway, we have a Humvee from the Imperial Forces riding to the pink side of the map. Oh, okay, so it will drive past the bunker, potentially. I suspect that this Humvee is going to go for some sort of economic harassment for Riegel. Unfortunately, though, the Harvesters have 1,000 HP, so your workers that bring you money have 1,000 HP a pop. I don't think this Humvee will survive. The Rebel multi-launcher will deny this this harassment. This Harvester losing just over 100 HP, but still very healthy. Now, some things to mention about this mod. You have the 9 factions like I mentioned, but you also have traits that are independent of the faction you choose. So when you enter the game, you can choose a trait. So we have a Guardian trait right here. For the Rebel Forces, this increases attack speed for defenses, increases damage for defenses, and adds more health for defenses, but this is at the cost of your units. So you have slower attack speed for units, less damage for units, and less health for units. Meanwhile, we will take a look in a second what trait Yiazmat has chosen. One thing to mention about the Imperial Forces is they have a focus on mech. So they have mech superiority compared to the other factions. I don't necessarily know what the quirks are for the Rebel Forces, but I have a feeling that maybe they use speedy units. Even though we do have that trait that did kind of debuff the units for the Imperial, sorry, not the Imperial player, the Rebel player. We do have these Rebel jet skis, which are fast nonetheless. I mean, look at how quick they go. I wonder if they're meant to be some sort of harassment unit, almost like a Hellion or something. Anyway, we have the tanks. What are these, medium tanks? Yes, they are medium tanks, but look at all the defenses in the middle of this ramp, or just behind the ramp, I should say, for Riegel, forcing Yiazmat to run back home. Anyway, let's take a look at what trait Yiazmat has chosen. Oh, here we go. We have the jet skis as well, but unfortunately, I think they won't be able to attack the Harvesters for the orange player because they are kind of on the other side of the map. We do have water right here, though, so maybe they would be able to reach those Harvesters. Nonetheless, they are still alive and doing some sort of damage to this operations center. We have the advanced guard tower, which will finish and likely take out these jet skis. Great reaction time by Riegel, though, able to save at least one of those jet skis. One thing I forgot to mention as well is we do have water mechanics for the C&D mod. Anyway, I said I was going to take a look at what trait Yiazmat has chosen. So he has selected the titanium plating trait. So this adds damage reduction for Imperial vehicles. Very nice. But it comes at an increased cost for Imperial vehicles, as well as less movement speed for Imperial vehicles. That is probably why these tanks are moving so slowly. We also have an MLRS. What is this? This is an artillery vehicle. Very cool looking. Now, there's going to be a lot to mention with this mod. I suspect it's going to be a new mod for some of my viewers. You only have one kind of source of money, not necessarily source of money, because you do have this oil derrick, which will give you money, as well as the Tiberium, which will give you money, but you don't have anything like minerals or gas. The only thing you have are credits. So both the oil derricks and the Tiberium will give you credits. And we see Yiazmat just dropped a bunch of credits. So did Riegel, actually. You also have Tiberium towers, I believe. Here we go. Here's one. Sorry, a broken Tiberium spike. So you can repair this spike, and it gives you passive income. And also you have this kind of eagle eye view. I had people complain about it, though, saying that makes them a little dizzy. So we are going to go for this kind of angled view that's more typical in StarCraft fashion. We have a heavy transport here, and we have the first Tiberium spike being repaired, I believe, by an engineer is what you use to repair those. Yep, here we go. There's the engineer that hitched a ride on this heavy transport. We also have an engagement in the middle of the map by Riegel, taking out a lot of, I feel like those were oil tankers. I didn't get quite a good look. But here's the naval yard, which is kind of in danger, but Riegel deciding to run back home with these damaged units. I would love to see them get repaired. I don't necessarily know how they get repaired, but I assume it's by engineers as well. What are these? We also have insurrections. These are rebel naval units. Let's take a look. So it's a large naval superiority ship. Now, one other quirk for each of the factions is they have different kinds of workers. I don't know if we have them right now, but for the Imperials, you have the option to build like an armored harvester, which is tankier than a typical harvester. And then for the rebels, you have like a burrow harvester, I think, a tunneling harvester that you can build that has a tunnel ability. So it has the option to kind of hide. I don't know if it's temporary or not, though. Like if it burrows like a Zerg unit or something. I'm not entirely sure. Fun fact, I've never actually played this mod. I've only ever done casts of it, so I really should play it, at least against the AI, to get familiar with all the factions. But these rebel naval units are doing a lot of damage to the Imperial stuff. Oh, this is crazy. We also have, what is that? We saw some rockets from way in the middle of the map, but these naval units have such long range. What do we have here? Oh, we have the artillery from the MLRS doing some damage to these insurrections, but they are just so tanky. Look at this 1200 HP. To be fair, I don't really know how the HP translates in this mod because, like I said, this is effectively its own independent game within the StarCraft 2 engine. We also have a jet ski here on absolute fire. How are you on fire? You're in the water. I guess it runs on oil probably, so that would make some sense that it's able to catch fire. How much HP does it actually have? Let's take a look at it right now. So it has 350 base life, and it has 42 HP left. What are these? We also have sea mines, which I believe are Riegels. They must be dropped by the, well, maybe by, what drops the sea mines? Oh, we have a fishing boat, which deploys sea mines. I love that. That's awesome. So we do have kind of like a sandbar here. I suspect that ground units can walk on this, and I wonder what the sea mines would do. They would probably proc, probably around this little circle. You probably have to walk right over it, is my guess. Also, there's copyrighted music, so I'm just playing the StarCraft 2 soundtrack on Spotify. So keep in mind, with this mod, there is music from actual bands that's featured, and it's super sick, but I can't play it as a YouTuber. I cannot play it. Otherwise, I will make the YouTube gods angry, and I would rather not make them angry. You know what I mean? Anyway, what is this? We have a Revenge, which is a massive siege warship that can defend itself. What is this? It has a nuclear missile? Oh, we gotta see what this does. This is actually insane. It looks like Yiazmat's actually just about locked into his base. We do have more artillery. Oh, what is that? Are these nukes? That must have been from the Revenge. There's no way it wasn't, right? Here we go, the Revenge. Let's keep an eye on these missiles that come out of this thing. This is not looking too good for Yiazmat now that I'm kind of paying more attention to the game rather than talking about the mechanics. Oh, no. Oh, yep, here we go. There's the missiles. Oh, so much of the stuff for Yiazmat getting destroyed. Taking a look at the supply as well, we have 790 supply to 290 supply, way in favor for our Pink Rebels player. Yiazmat saying, hey, well, I have said I am a noob. Yiazmat, man, you still put on a good show. This mod is so sick. Let's take a look at the workers killed. Only 2 workers killed this game total, but the workers also have 1,000 HP. Anyway, Yiazmat leaving the game, giving the victory to our pink Rebels player Riegel. What a sick first game. Stay tuned, and I'll see you for game number 2. All right, guys, welcome to game number 2. This is a matchup featuring 2 different players and 1 different faction, so let's go ahead and introduce them. Spawning on the bottom right-hand side of the map, it's our green Psyche player SaleLale going up against his opponent. Spawning on the top left-hand side of the map, it's our red Imperial Forces player Leo. Now, we're already familiar with the Imperial Forces and their focus on mech units. Meanwhile, the Psyche faction is a criminal syndicate faction that focuses on chemical warfare. Let's take a look at what traits these players have chosen as well. We do have the corrosive chemicals trait selected for our Psyche player. This allows chemical sprays to deal damage over time to vehicles, double armor melt damage for chemical sprays, double slow for chemical sprays, and increased damage for chemical grenades. Very cool. And I did say that the Imperial Forces do focus on mech units, right? Because we have a lot of infantry units running across the map. Meanwhile, we have green infantry units as well, but there are so many more red infantry units that they will undoubtedly come out ahead. They absolutely melted that small force of Psyche infantry units, but it looks like Leo deciding to run back home, satisfied with that pickup. And you know what? I would have done something different than Leo. I would have run right into the base and then lost all my stuff, because we have a lot of infantry units for our green Psyche player as well. Before I forget, though, let's take a look at what trait our red player has chosen. He has chosen the intelligence trait. So this trait increases XP gains, has cheaper and faster training upgrades, and lower requirements for advanced training. That is actually really cool. Anyway, SaleLale getting some vengeance for losing his initial infantry force and picking off some of these red Imperial Forces. We also have a Wolfhound APC, so this is a troop transport, but it also does attack. So it can attack ground and air units, and I suspect it can only do that when it has infantry units loaded up, but I'm not entirely sure about that. Anyway, we do have an attack on the red side of the map, but we have the Humvees that are built from this war factory. And like I said, and as you guys already know, the Imperial Forces do have a focus on mech units, and look at how tanky these Humvees are. All these infantry units are going down. But that was still at the cost of a lot of red units, I feel like. Let's take a look at the resources lost. 720 resources lost for red, only 9 units killed, and 36 units killed, and 2,800 resources lost for green. So I want to say Leo is definitely ahead in this game. Let's take a look at the units as well. What do we have where workers are concerned? We have 10 harvesters for red and 7 harvesters for green. Meanwhile, it looks like Leo is moving across the map. Also checking the other, looks like Tiberium fields. So yeah, this is a Tiberium vein, and as far as I know, it spawns Tiberium ore, or just Tiberium is what it's called. We did have a pickup of a few red units, though. We have a lot of Wolfhound APCs. I'd love to see some of the chemical warfare that the Psyche are known for, though. Right now, we just have rockets. But this is a decent pickup, but these Humvees are really scary. I feel like the Humvees wouldn't do a bad job, but at the same time, this is 4 fully loaded APCs, Wolfhound APCs. What is this? We also have an MCV. I think this is a construction vehicle. Yep, it's a construction vehicle that can turn into a construction yard, which is your command center equivalent. And here we go. These APCs are actually doing a lot of damage. The Humvees, though, I do believe get healed when they're next to the War Factory. There's an aura that the War Factory has that passively heals your factory units. So that actually provided a lot of support for these Humvees. These APCs kind of on the retreat, but this MCV will get picked off. That was a big pickup for SaleLale, our green Psyche player. Taking a look at the resources lost now, it's evening out. 6,100 resources lost to 7,800 resources lost. Still in favor for red, but not nearly as much of a difference as it was earlier in this game. By the way, if you guys are new to my channel and you're interested in watching more custom StarCraft 2 content, well, I cast custom StarCraft 2 exclusively. So if custom StarCraft 2 is something you're interested in watching more of, please consider subscribing to my channel. I'd greatly appreciate it. It's been quite a journey so far, let me tell you. Both players are still on one base. To be fair, though, I'm not super familiar with the meta for the C&D mod, but from what I've been seeing, it really seems like one basing it for a while isn't necessarily too difficult, but we have a lot of these harvesters which will potentially get picked off. Wait a minute. Okay, yeah, for a second I thought these were Humvees attacking their own harvesters, but no, they were APCs attacking the harvesters. That was a lot of harvesters that went down. 5 harvesters. I also don't know how much money the harvester costs. We'll take a look at that in a second, but I feel like that was a possible overextension for SaleLale. That was effectively his entire army at the cost of like 5 harvesters. A big engagement on the ramp to the main base for the red player, and I feel like Leo coming out ahead in this engagement, and yes, he has 12,000 resources lost to 24,000 resources lost in favor for Leo, our Imperial Forces player. Let's also take a look at how much a harvester costs. One harvester costs 1,400 money, or 1,400 credits, and that's not necessarily cheap. I mean, look at this. We have about 3,000 credits for red and 3,000 credits for green. And if you want to build one harvester, that's 1,400 credits gone, right? 1,400? Am I crazy? Yeah, 1,400. So it makes sense that they have 1,000 HP, let me tell you. One big engagement on the green side of the ramp that we're seeing right here. Green side of the ramp, green side of the map is what I'm saying, on the ramp. You guys, it's been a long day, but I'm totally fine. Oh, wow. Good comeback for SaleLale, though, taking out the entirety of the red army. Taking a look at the supply, though, we have 410 supply to 350 supply, slightly in favor for red. But from what I was told, supply isn't necessarily a good indicator for who's ahead in the game. I'm sure if it was like 1,000 supply to 300, that would be a good indicator, but I feel like this is almost inconsequential. Just because the supply is so crazy in this game. So we have another migration of harvesters going to the left-hand side as well. So we have 2 expansions actually for our red player. We have 1 expansion for our green player. Taking a look at what's happening, though, on the right-hand side of the map, we have one of the expansions under fire. And it doesn't look like Leo is equipped to deal with this. The harvesters are trying to run away, but they will absolutely go down. There's no way they survive this. And here we go. More workers killed. Now 11 workers killed by SaleLale. I feel like that's huge. Taking a look at the worker supply, we have 15 harvesters for red and 9 harvesters for green, though. So even though we have 11 harvesters killed, we still have a lead for our red player, and that makes sense because he was kind of double expanded. Keep in mind, though, you don't build harvesters from your construction yard. You build them from your refinery, and we have 2 idle harvesters on that refinery in the main base, actually. And SaleLale out for blood, going for base number 3. This will be a huge pickup. Leo has to do something about this, and here we go. We have fire raining down from the sky. And the music is picking up as well. I don't know if you guys will be able to hear that. The construction yard in the 3rd base location going down. SaleLale in this game to win. Keep in mind, this is a tournament match. Wow, that was a really good pickup for our green Psyche player. Taking a look at the workers killed, still only 15 workers killed this game, but we have a lot of units. running towards the green side of the map. We have transport helicopters. What is this? We have a longbow, which is a ground support helicopter that can attack ground units. This is so crazy to see. If you told me that this was its own standalone game, I would believe you. I mean, yeah, you can kind of tell it's using the StarCraft 2 engine, but you guys, I never thought I would straight up see like a helicopter in StarCraft 2, with the exception, I guess, of the Banshee, which is kind of helicopter-like, but not like a military helicopter, let me tell you. And we have action all over the map. We have one unit right here attacking base number 2. We have the rest of the force attacking the main base for the green player. And this is looking really rough for SaleLale, I think. One structure going down. We have a Jackal here that will go down as well. What is this? We have a Turrican, which is an experienced unit, doing quite a lot of damage, actually, with so much shields regenerating. This thing is actually, I think, going to be the saving grace for SaleLale. We do have a missile trooper right here. And just as I said it, actually, never mind. This Turrican is still alive. This unit is insane. Its shields regenerate so quickly, it has 30 kills. What is this thing? It's like a hero unit. Look at this. It's taking on the entirety of the Red Army by itself. It's looking like it's just now, getting damaged, running back home. SaleLale realizing how important this Turrican is. How much does a Turrican cost? Oh man, I don't know. We'll try and find it, but right now I kind of want to focus on this thing because this is a hero unit. What is this? This is a mercenary commando. Mercenary infantry, can attack ground and air units. To be fair, I don't really know like if this damage is good. I assume it is because it took out virtually everything that the red player had. This is insane. And now it's running across the map. We have to give this guy a name. Commando Steve. Commando Steve. You're doing so much work for SaleLale. It's incredible. It's incredible. Oh, wow. Okay, where is it now? Oh, will deny the construction yard here, potentially. Look at this. It's taking out the harvesters like they're nothing, and they have 1,000 HP. This is absolute insanity. SaleLale, you gotta build more of these things if you can. I don't know. I mean, it's an elite unit right now. Ultimately, I think it will go down. I don't know if it can survive. What was that? That was insane. He's got full shields. What is this thing, man? What? Leo throwing out the GG? Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Leo throwing out another GG. I guess he forgot. Leaving the game, giving the victory to our green Psyche player, SaleLale. If you guys enjoyed what you saw, please consider shooting me a like and subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it. And if you want me to cast any of your own games, I will leave my email and Discord in the description below. And I'll see you guys on the next one.